Arkansas. One of the things that was impacting these small businesses is that they were not familiar with what we do or our requirement also for the quality, because since we're in aviation, the quality is a lot very stringent. The federal aviation and so forth, so the quality control is very important. We had some businesses that could not tap into our businesses because of that. They could not meet the requirements. So one of the things is that it's very important that small companies knows what we do, but also what our requirements are. But even if we are into kind of on the down low into a valley, it will pick back up. And now is the time that they actually train personnel and know what we do for when it comes back up, then the workforce will be ready for it. And that's how we're preparing our employees right now to cross-train, to do technical competency. What actually we need to do. John will talk some more about it, for the competency of our workforce. And the lean manufacturing. Right now we're sending all our employees throughout lean manufacturing to remain competitive. It is not a business like it was 5 years ago, where we had too much of everything. It is now, it's like, it's kind of on a survival mode, but also a competitive, to remain competitive, because now, yeah, we are going globals and all that, but even to our outsourcing, we still have to remain competitive to our competitors, but also with our outsourcing. They have to match or to be better for the cost of the whole completion. So we do, like, if you've seen the airplane, is that we do a lot of various work, from upholstery, cabinet, detail parts, painting, and so forth. So there's a lot of opportunities throughout Arkansas to tap into this industry. And one of the things that is all these communities to know about what we do or what's available. We've been involved into a company with involvement with Technical College, Pulaski Tech, various universities, to make sure that they are training toward the skills that we need to have into that. How to do composite work. We had a workforce that we did. We hired 20. We needed to ramp up very quickly, so we had a lot of trainings to be done very quickly. So we tap into somebody that never worked in composite, trained them on the 6 weeks period, and then it was kind of a filtering to hire them to come in. So pre-employment and all that. Readiness for when the economy picks up. So quickly, so just to kind of dive into
Quick question. So you're kind of describing what I would call a just-in-time training, and at the same time you've still got production. How do you balance the time taken away from being involved in production against training time when they're not, obviously?
Well, they're not like these training like for lean manufacturing. Right. They're like for a one-day training course and all that.
So it's very intensive.
So it's very, very intensive, concentrated, and it's actually to kind of light up the light bulb for them to, okay, this is what, because not everybody that hear about lean manufacturing. Somebody never heard of the term, or they just heard of the term, but they don't know what it involves. It involves 5S, it involves straining out, it's actually observing. We have people coming back from their one-day training, and it's like it's a new world to them. It's still the same shop to where they've been working for 10 years or 15 years, but it seems like it's a new world also. So they're recognizing different possibilities.
So that's kind of
recognizing the waste.
So that's kind of under the technical competencies that you talked about earlier.
Right.
That's so very important.
Right.
In terms of the training, who's providing? You said that you are partnering with Pulaski Tech. Was that correct? That
yes,
locally
yeah.
Locally, they offer. Did they customize the training for you, or was it something already available?
They actually customized because when we started it is that we needed to ramp up our workforce, and we realized that they were not having sufficient training provided through the college or professional college like Pulaski Tech. And what we did is in concert, because you have two completion centers in Little Rock. You have Hawker and you also have Falcon Jet. It's a monumental resource of employment. And we had to go outside the state or out of states and to get competency. But then it's like there's some low-level skills needed that can actually step up and you know, get your foot into the door, so to speak, and also get them trained. And also there's higher level like engineering and so forth to get into it. So that's what they research in consortium with Pulaski Tech and us and Hawker. What are the skills needed? Some of them is engineering via CATIA. This is an engineering system that we're using. It's not using throughout the industry, but that's one of the tools that we're using. And if it's not or taught like a Euler or Pulaski Tech and all that, then the technical skill is not available when we need it.
How do you deal with resistance? You're talking about cross-training employees. You know, some of us want to do things like we've always done, and what...
Easy. Well, and we're facing this right now. The thing is that to prevent from having to reduce the workforce, that we have other departments that need to have more manpower. And in my department in manufacturing, I don't have enough workload. So I'm loaning these people to other areas, and that's where the cross training is starting, and all that. And it kind of secures their knowledge.
One of the things that Dassault is very fortunate to be able to do is to adjust our workforce from department to department. And generally speaking, most people enjoy the challenge of learning something new. I understand.
Yeah,
With my gray hair, I understand resistance, but I also heard about the dinosaurs. So, as we said, we have to be able to change. So, one of the things that we have the flexibility to do through training is to cross-train people with many skills. Of course, what this does is it makes that employee more valuable to the company also. Generally, resistance is not a major issue.